The all-in-one speed paint by the Army Painter is truly a one-coat painting solution. Simply apply one rich coat of speed paint directly over a primed miniature, and you're done. Speed paint will leave that part of the model with intense shading, vibrant color, and a highlight effect in one application. The speed paint starter set includes 10 smart color choices to begin your speed painting journey, like vibrant primary colors, highly saturated secondary colors, and the perfect combination of composite colors to get those models finished in record time. Every bottle of speed paint includes 2 rust-proof stainless steel mixing balls preloaded in the bottle for easy mixing, and a Wargamer brush absolutely free. Armed with speed paint, you can take on armies of miniatures insanely fast, all while achieving a dramatic and fantastic tabletop standard. Army painting has never been easier.
Hi everyone, we should be here. I think we're here. We always do this. I don't know why, but it always happens. And literally, we just had a massive explosion in Leia's house. So Leia's like, just give me like 10 minutes to save the world. I'm like, no, we've only got 10 seconds. But we're here. How is everyone doing? Hi, I'm Dave. This is Band of Badgers. This is not the Great British Brush Off. Great British Brush Off? Yeah. This is the epic British Brush Off. And this week's guest, our pro artist, is LEIA Robertson. How you doing, LEIA? Sorcerer Sundry, how you doing?
Other than the fact that I feel like my heart is going to beat out of my chest, I'm doing awesome.
Good. Now, for those of you who, if you've skipped to this episode specifically, this is a kind of a mini-series, a limited series. We've got 6 episodes all around the epic encounters, specifically the Ghoul Kin, not King, Kin, which is a horrifying, grotesquely box there like that. And the challenge is to paint the whole box. Now, I've got a few going on there. I'm going to be painting the same thing as I did last episode, but different colours this week. Now, as you see, Steve's changed. Steve, who nobody sits below me, a co-host, he's away on business. He's out of the country. So, we've got one of our Badger friends, Craig, to jump in all the way from the States. How you doing, Craig?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm good, I think, mostly. I've been off with the flu for a while, so it's a bit weird. Today's weirdly the first day it's been normal. When you've had the flu for about 4 or 5 days, it really drains you down. But Craig has the advantage of he will be collecting gold stars for Steve. So bear that in mind, people. Bear that in mind. Joe, how are we doing?
Well, yeah, I'm good, thank you.
There we go. Right, so we move on. How you doing, Joe? What have you been up to?
Not a lot running around chasing people with chainsaws at the minute.
That's right. You were at Tully's Shocktoberfest for Halloween, where literally Joe and a mad bunch of other people dress up as serial killers, zombies, ghouls, and ghosts, and terrify children and adults.
Yeah. So I'm a hillbilly. So
with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
How many people do you think you've actually terrorized at the moment?
I often wonder like how many nightmares I've been in.
Yes. I dream of you, Joe. I dream of you.
I know, Dave.
But you're not using a chainsaw.
So let's not talk about that on Twitch or we might get banned.
There we go. So, as I mentioned, we're all going to be painting a few other little bits and pieces. Leia, what did you pick out of the box to paint today?
I'm painting this little worm rider guy.
The worm
He looks
rider.
pretty sweet. Yeah, it's a worm. He's the guy riding a worm.
Yep. There you go.
Couldn't say that one.
There's actually a lot of detail on these minis as well. These are not these
cool.
epic encounters. So much detail. They really are epic. There's the worm rider on screen right now. It's just to the left of the screen. It's not Joe. It's the one that looks like a miniature. There we go. Now, at the end of the show, you as the audience, live, thank you very much for joining us. You get to vote on who you think has done the best job. I was going to say we're all beginners, but we're not. We're all of various degrees. Leia, the professional. Craig's also a professional painter. Joe's a semi-professional. And I'm an absolute beginner. So, I have won gold stars in the past. So it can be done, beginners.
Beginner.
Yeah. But yeah, 50 hours is not so bad. I'm on every single show, so it has to be.
You have lots of practice. You're in all of these.
Yeah. I only paint online, so it's like pressure painting. That's what we do. So, Craig, what are you going for?
I'm going to do the Broodssire today.
The Broodssire. He is the main boss of the box. He is looking muscly and epic. He has body parts missing. He's replaced them with sharp implements, hooks and chains.
Is that knife for hands?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Right?
actually, his right arm.
Is it?
What we do is I'll tell you what. Let's switch the cameras around a little bit. So, I've got to remember which buttons to press now because it's not really Steve. It's Craig. Boom, boom. There we go. So we have. I'll show you on here. This is the booklet that it comes with. There is the Broodssire. Now you can see. I'll zoom in a little bit more for you. So his right arm is actually kind of like tentacles, and he's wrapped it around this big blade. It's shocking. While his left arm is a bit kind of Silent Hill-esque. He's actually just... It is a spike.
Long pokey thing.
Yeah. It is terrifying. And even his foot, he has a foot missing as well. His right foot is missing. He's just shoved it into this piece of metal contraption. He is nasty. Not only that, but on his belly, and I'll zoom in a little bit more,
Yum.
there is a worm basically growing out of his belly. Nasty. So we're going to attempt to paint that. Well done, guys. I'm going to go with the Bulwark. It's one that I did last one. It's my favourite one because this is something that looks like it should be in Resident Evil. So I'm going to be painting that. Last time I made him in purple. This week I'm going to change up the colour scheme a little bit, just so you get two in the box. So just so the players, when they're dying, they can identify which one killed them. Nice and easy. So off you go, audience. On your marks, get set, paint. I don't know why I said audience. Painters, on your marks, get set, paint. But you, audience, if you have questions, jokes, funny stories, do let us know in the comments in the chat. We'll shout out as much as we can. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't do that. Leave your comments below. If you have questions for anyone, we'll pass them on. If you want to invite us onto other shows, please do. You're welcome to. We're getting loads of invites for bits and pieces at the moment. Who has a toy?
What is that?
Who's got a spinner?
I've got one. I've got
Wow.
it.
I was like, that's a vortex spinner. If I've ever
Vortex.
heard of it.
Yeah. I just got my little handhold thingy. Look, looks like Joe smoking. Basically.
Some of us still have to do it by hand.
Yep, I'm with you there.
It's been so long since I've used this one. I can't tell if I put a shaker ball in it or not. I can't feel it.
Oh, and the other thing I'm doing, so I'm doing, there's the bulwark that I'm going to be painting, which is on screen right now, just to the right-hand side of the screen. So as well as that, I've also got two of these guys, the Footman. I've pre-painted them black, because I'm going to use a turbo shift colour to see if I can give them like sick, slimy skin, and that's from Turbo Dog. So I'm going to give that a try. Boom, boom, boom. But I'm going to start. I'm going to go. I think I'm going to try the Malignant Green.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to paint the Brood Sire in as well. Like his main body and things. Malignant Green.
Craig's already getting a shout out by Kelly about his background. He's got his Star Wars in the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone quiet straight away. Everyone's like, boom, right into it. Normally it takes 20 minutes or half an hour.
We're ready to get our paint on. Because honest, so for me, I haven't quite decided on a lot of my colors. I'm sitting over here mixing paints until I'm satisfied. But I'm realizing now I don't think I mixed enough of the color that I want to make this worm. But I also don't know if this is the color I want it to be. Who knows?
So what's everyone's starting colour, and what kind of paint choices have you gone for? Start with you,
Much like
Joe.
LEIA, I haven't even decided what colour I want his skin to be yet.
So I mentioned this a little bit pre-show. I mentioned I've got some inspiration that I got from Diablo 3. They're like these creatures called grotesques. And they've got two versions. I want to do like more of the bluish purpley kind of color for this worm.
Yeah.
I darkened up this I've got this runic purple that I'm using from Reaper Miniatures. It's a really nice reddish purple. I darkened it up with a little bit of red and some black, but I think I made it too dark. I don't know. I'm just going to keep adding paint to my paint palette until my brain says, yes, this is the color we were looking for. We're just winging it.
So we've got a question from the Dragonborn Bard. What has everyone found the most pleasing about opening up your epic encounter box and exploring inside?
The smell. It has
the new box smell.
The new box
New
smell.
box smell. Yes.
Okay.
No, it's not. I don't know. No, it's not really the smell. Here's a box of plastic. Here it is. Let's inhale some plasticky fumes. Epic encounters. I always loved. I'm a big map person. So the map in this box is epic. I truly do enjoy it. And we've mentioned before on other streams, this box, this collection of minis, is the first one that is not a traditional, say, D&D fantasy mini monster. This is something else. It's not undead. It is ghoulish. But I've never seen this, and this is not something you're going to find in a D&D monster manual.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's the same sort of thing I had. I opened the box and was like, oh wow, these are different.
Yeah.
Like, really unique miniatures.
I was surprised when I got the whole package, when I was like, my partners were like, you've got this really big box here for you. When I opened it up and it was the whole encounter, I thought I was getting one miniature. Because that's what I'm used to. Is whenever we come on and we do brush off stuff, it's one miniature. And I was like, there is like a whole thing in this box.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was like Christmas. It felt like Christmas to me.
I'm actually going to be running this game with my boy on the weekend. So,
Yeah, it's good. It is. They're fun. Epic Encounters is what it says on the tin or the box. It is a one shot in a box. An epic cinematic encounter with monsters that you really get to fight and spend less time on trying to think something up. Have a great location, have a great outline of a story, and just send your players into somewhere dark and they have to survive. Great if you love role playing and cinematic locations. Great if you love combat as well. Exploration and combat. And this is a superb box set.
Yeah, I enjoyed once you get past the books and everything and start getting the minis out and actually looking at them, the amount of detail that they just have in them is unreal. Because you look at them one time, you see something, and the next time you're looking, you're spotting something completely different.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot, this one has his butt crack, and that's always a pleasure. This one, I don't know how or why they did it, but he's got his kind of thong on, you know, the last bit Hulk-ish. So the only thing he's got on is a bit of modesty cloth, but he has a butt crack. So you can actually, yeah, he's been a bit cheeky. God, everyone's still quiet. Look. So
Well, there's like we've mentioned, like there's a ton of detail on here. Just getting started, you know?
yeah,
yes. Dragonborn. All of in the books, you've got the stat blocks for all of the monsters,
Mm-hmm.
and tons of stuff to go through as a DM for help and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool having all of that information.
yeah. One of my favourite bits of that is where they say they give you help and advice on how to set the atmosphere, and that's really fun. It's a lovely way of doing it.
One thing that would be nice to have in there would be like a couple of blank 5e character sheets. Which, have you got any blank 5e character sheets, Dave, that I can nab off you?
No, but if you go to Wizard of the Coast website, there is a blank PDF that you can download.
Mm-hmm. They've got I think they've got the original and the updated version, I think, too.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, it's a free resource. You don't need to pay for it. It's all just there. Or the other thing, and I think I agree. I think they should. It'd be nice to have some pre-gens. Get some pre-gens in there.
Yeah.
Because they're always handy as well. I do enjoy using D&D Beyond, and at least with that you can also just like roll a random character. And it will do it all for you, which is good.
Annoyingly, flip the model round to paint the back half of it and put my finger on the wet paint.
No. Keep those questions coming, folks. They're concentrating too much. It means that they're going to win.
Oh, I think I messed up. If it makes you feel better. I don't think I like this purple, and I'm too impatient to wait for it to dry.
Uh-oh.
So I'm just gonna get the other one out.
Here's one I made earlier.
Oh no! Where did it go? It's falling off. Here we go. I also found when I zenithal, or the zenithal highlight that I attempted on these, you find all sorts of wonderful details in these miniatures. Like, I don't know, some of these little, like the dots in the leather to make them look like it's actual textured leather of some sort. So cool. Just the coolest. Alright. Round 2. I need more bluey grays. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Nope. Maybe. Nope. Oh. You're gonna get one of those like squeezy bottles where you're trying to squeeze out the paint. It's not coming out. You don't want to squeeze too hard because you don't want it to explode all over your palette.
And then it pops.
Having a moment. Like squeezing it like, oh, isn't the paint gonna come out?
Yeah, I've had that where the whole of the nib bit just explodes and you just get paint like everywhere.
Well, this is I'm painting a... It's malignant green, but it's a lovely colour.
Yeah, it is.
I'm using the... It's a yellowy green, but I'm using the speed paint. And it's drying really nicely.
How are you finding those? The speed paint stuff?
For me, because I'm at least painting for table ready, really nice. I've been fairly sloppy with them actually. So on one hand, I don't have to wash or dry brush, but I can then get to go back and highlight some details. And for table ready, that it does seem to be very, very quick.
Yeah, I'd agree. They're very forgiving and they're super fast. Like the first of these epic brush offs I did, I literally got the model out of the box 2 minutes before we went live. Hadn't even base coated it and managed to finish the whole model.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to finish this one because it's massive and it's got so much detail on it. But
Well, that is... Ooh, that's going on really, really well. Don't know if everyone can see that. There you go. It's coming along.
Oh, that's a really nice green. The Dragon Bard asks, how do people feel about adding epic encounter boxes to a campaign you are already playing? And have you already done this?
Yes. Things like, if it depends on how you play. So if you was to play when a player's on the holiday, so you only want to continue when everyone's at the table, you can run one. I've used the orcs because the players were out in a snowstorm basically, and as always they want to go a different way to where I want them to go, and they
Standard.
instead of rolling for a random encounter, it's like, well, okay, I rolled. The option was random encounter, and I just happened to have the orc box with me, and I said, right, okay, you come up across this hill on the side of a mountain, and you see an orc riding a polar bear. What do you do? And that literally just kicked off the epic encounter at that point. And it was great because you didn't need any story. They were like, right, okay, that's a bad guy. We'll jump him. What's investigate some more. And they kind of there was just in combat situations anyway, and they just jumped straight in, and it was great. And they took out the Orc King. They didn't even know they were looking for the Orc King.
I think the benefit of these models in particular is some players will, see an orc or like a goblin or, what have you, and they'll know the stat blocks and the resistances and all the this, that, and the other. Even if they're not trying to metagame, in the back of their head, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to hit that with fire because I know that does double damage.
Yeah, it's a troll. Cut the head off, burn the body.
Yeah. Whereas if you put this on the table, they're going to be like, what is that?
Yep. You say, ha ha. And then you can really mess them up. So, no, it's resistant to that.
Yeah.
Magic don't work. Fireball won't save you.
Stereotype for just being an orc, yeah.
Or even the worst one I've done to someone is they go, magic missile. You miss. I can't miss. You missed.
I don't know. I think the worst thing that I've ever done is someone tried to use a healing spell and I counterspelled it. That's probably the most horriblest thing I've done.
Ouch! Oh my gosh.
That's just
Joe
good teamwork.
wins points for worst DM ever.
Yeah.
That's what we need. A show where you cannot beat the DM.
Like a special kind of heartlessness for that, Joe.
Yeah. You haven't played with my friends, they deserve it.
Apparently, I no, I've never played with any of your friends.
They make it just as hard for me, so
I'm glad I don't have to deal with that. Like there are so many, like I have so many people in my friends group who are like, oh, well, I'm glad you're not playing with this person because this person like tries to like, use his meta knowledge or is like tries to beat the game. And I'm like, all of my friends just want pets.
Yep. Have that as well.
They just I bit that in the butt early on my latest campaign. I was like, all right, we're gonna take care of this now. So I gave them a pet mimic.
Cool.
Here's the thing. This is the best magic item ever. It is a mimic of holding. A wizard was trying to like doing experiments on mimics.
Yeah.
To get them to do certain reactions, to use them as like traps, but like not turn on its master. And through failed experiments, this wizard was able to combine a bag of holding and a mimic. So the mimic can double as the bag of holding, but it can only turn into other boxes. That's all it can do. And it's docile. for the most part. It's great because you can never turn it inside out.
Yeah.
So sometimes if my players are being extra oblivious, we'll say, and I need to give them a thing, the little mimic will help by providing like something small to maybe help them move along. But it's been the greatest. They're like, they treat it like it's the party mascot. I haven't been asked about any other pets the entire time. They're level 12. I'm so happy. Feel free to use that. So wait, I love this blue. I was able to nail my bluey gray. It looks
Well
a lot
done.
less blue on stream. It is very blue to me, but it's like perfect. But now
That's
it's
right.
gonna take forever to dry.
That's where the Instagram comes in. And any photos
Instagram.
you wish to share. By the way, audience, while you're here, stop over. Just open up a new tab in your browser. Go to youtube.com/bandofbadgers. Hit the subscribe button. Every little bit helps. Thank you very much. Announcement over.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
Sod.
I'm already subscribed, obviously.
Gonna say I'm subscribed.
Strata
certainly
Miniatures, thank you very much for following. They do look great. Thank you very much. Hop over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/bandofbadgers, and subscribe there. It won't cost you a penny, and we're trying to hit 800. We're nearly there. I think we're at 760, but we're nearly there. I'm using my TEBBO dork at the moment, so it's really, I don't know if you can see that on camera. It's not dry yet, but it is really shiny.
Oh, I can see it. What's this? That
Bluey and
is that
purpley.
the blue and purple?
Yeah, this is the. Let me make sure I chose the right one. 3D glasses,
Ooh.
and it looks wicked.
Excuse me.
Really.
What are you laughing at?
You hiccuping right every 5 seconds.
Hey, joke's on you. I hiccup twice, and that's it. I'm done for hiccups.
Right, I'm going to try another one. I'm going to do the second one in a different colour, and then I just got to remember which colour is which. Oh, let's spin it first.
I just realized that I think this is the first time I've ever done one of these brush offs and not had to paint a face.
Well, technically, the worm has a face, and so does the person.
Well, okay, a traditional
a
face.
traditional face, yeah. More human-ish.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Strata Miniatures. If you use Turbo Shift paints over a gloss black, you get even more two-tone. I did not know that. It just says, I'm just following the instructions. It just says black undercoat. So I went with, I'm using this one. This is the Game Master Chaotic Black from Army Painter, which is a matte black. There it is. So you can see I've got, there's the matte, there's the before, there's the near the after. I'll probably do a couple of coats actually, but it is, I want kind of slimy, like slimy damp skin, not scaly, just like skin.
Like xenomorph skin.
Yeah.
That like rubbery oil slicked.
Yeah, so that's
skin.
what I'm going for. But yeah. But thanks for the tip. Thank you very much. I will do that. That's what this channel is for. That's what the show is for. Any tip well, I say I'm beginner painter. This lot aren't. But they are the professionals, not me. But always happy for help and advice. Stick around to the end, and you'll be able to judge and give reward gold stars to our painters. Dragon Ball Bard is saying, I know Dave likes undead creatures. Of course I do. I say it every time. But what are everyone else's favourite monsters and types of monsters or enemies? Has there been an epic encounter for these yet? I don't think I have a proper... Oh no, there has been an undead. The Lich Queen.
Yeah, what box is it? Tower of the Lich Empress.
Yeah. And that has loads of skeletons in there.
And the Undead Horde.
Yeah. Loads of
That
skeletons.
just sounds fun.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. I might... Maybe we'll paint that one next. Could be good. We shall paint that one next. I don't know why I'm spinning this. I've already spun it.
My favourite monsters are the red caps from Out of the Abyss were my favourite to play.
Those are fun.
Yes. I
They
agree.
were just a laugh, just to absolutely wind up your players.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that was my favorite part of Out of the Abyss. It's pretty great.
Right, so now I'm applying a different turbo shift. See how this comes out.
I think for me, I tend to really like dragons. I think that has a lot to do with I don't
A
know.
lot to do with all the
when-
dragons behind you. And
Yeah.
What?
was it? The not
There are
Tiamat.
no-
Not
There are
becoming
no
an
addiction.
dragons behind
It's
me.
becoming an addiction there.
You need to take 5 minutes, switch the cameras around, and just do the office tour again, the studio tour.
I actually ended up having to put Tiamat. Tiamat is going to be.
I said Tianot.
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 Tianot is going to be going downstairs soon, just because we're coming to the conclusion of my Tyranny of Dragons game. So she's
Nice.
actually very hard to see and down here.
Cool.
I also had to make room for my BD1 unit, and I've got a tall neck Lego set that
Oh,
has
nice.
priorities.
My missus sent me a picture today of a potential Christmas present that she's been teasing me with. They've released the Mandalorian ship in their 18 age range, their adult range, Lego adult range.
Ooh. Just
The
quick.
Tianot.
This is Tianot. She's
That
not
is-
Tiamat, but she may as well be.
Is it Slave One?
The ship. I think so.
I think that's what his ship's called.
It's not called that anymore. It's called something else.
On the
It's
was the
all
Mandalorian
grey
one?
pieces. So it's one of those things that has like 4,000 grey pieces.
Nice.
It's like doing jigsaws when they're all the same colour, all the same shape,
Yeah.
all the same
Like the
size.
baked bean jigsaw.
Yeah. Oh.
Speaking of Legos, have you guys heard about the 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons?
I just read that today.
No.
They're pairing up with D&D for the 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons.
They're
So
doing a
right
poll,
now-
aren't they?
On the Lego, I think that's the Lego website or something like that.
Oh
They're
my gosh.
taking suggestions for Lego stuff that's D&D related.
Oh wow! I didn't know. Oh,
I know
wow.
it's I just read this yesterday. Just read it. As Craig
Oh.
said, he read it today. It's super exciting. The Lego fanatic in me is super excited.
I bought some things on Amazon the other day. Not Lego. It's for Lego. They're little dusters that you can use on your keyboard and stuff like that. But they're highly recommended so you can dust down your Lego models. So
Oh.
the shelf behind me, because at the moment it's full of piled up rubbish. But I like it when it's neat and tidy. And what my plan is to put my Lego models behind me, even though they're not D&D and tabletop related. I don't care. It's my room.
It's my room.
If
man.
wizards want to make them take me down, they can damn well pay me or ask me nicely.
Look at droid,
Yeah,
tall neck,
yeah.
Star
K-Rose-
Wars,
K-Rose,
video
right.
game.
The Mandalorian ship is the Razor Crest, and Boba Fett ship was Slave One. There we go.
Well, I think it's. Is it going to be the Razor Crest or is it going to be the new one that Mando is driving
Oh, it's not the
around
new
now?
one. It is the one that fell apart.
The Razor Crest.
Yeah, it's his old banger, basically.
That one's sweet. Reminds me of my college car.
But it's all grey, you know, the 4,000 pieces. It's just wow. Okay, give it a try. Okay, right. The turbo dork is which one was which? The turbo dork is layered. I'm going to go back to the bulwark. I'm going to go back to the bulwark. So the last time Leia was on, we was actually doing a hangout, and we solved Star Wars.
We solved it?
Yeah,
Is that what we did?
We solved it. We solved Star Wars. We fixed every problem ever, past, present, and future, which has solved everything, and it was great. What series should we fix now?
If Anakin wasn't such a whiny bitch, all of the problems wouldn't have happened. Is that the?
Yep.
No, all of the problems are solved if we stop focusing on the Skywalkers. Literally
Well, yeah.
anything else, and all the problems go away.
So we
What, like Andor?
yeah. Can we talk about it now? Is anyone? I suppose everyone's watching Andor. Anyone? What's
No.
people's comments on Andor?
I watched the first episode and I was like, I have no interest in this. It's the first Star Wars thing that I've just been like, I've told my partners, if you guys want to watch this, that's fine, but I don't want any part of it because I hated Andor in the beginning of he turns into a giant jerk.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point of this show? You can't redeem somebody who's got to be a jerk in the beginning of a movie and is then redeemed. Like, why? Why?
I think if anyone's seen the first 3 episodes of Andor, you kind
Yeah,
of.
I haven't seen this week's yet.
No, I haven't seen this week's yet. We were just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, I've seen this week's as well. It's not as good as The Mandalorian, I'll give you that.
No, Mandalorian. I don't know. Just fell in love with it straight away. Whatever they did, it was just right.
I think it's because he watched a load of old samurai movies and a load of old things like that.
Oh, it's
And got
definitely
that
a
kind of
western.
feel. Yeah.
It's a spaghetti western.
But I think it's also that episodic feel that there doesn't need to be an overall arc for it to be enjoyable. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to feel like one giant movie if you were to sit down and watch a bunch of the episodes.
That is definitely what Andor feels like. Andor is definitely a film, and they've just cut it into slices.
Yeah. That's what I was telling my partners. I was like, I feel like I just picked up in the middle of a movie, so nothing makes sense. And I was like, and all this stuff with the kids, nothing is subtitled, and I feel like
that
it's
annoyed me.
long enough where it's like I feel like things should be subtitled.
I put on the subtitles and was like, oh, it's just got speaks in foreign language.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, great, okay.
I watch everything with subtitles, so it was just one of those things where it's speaks in alien language, and I'm like,
Here's a question for
And-
Joe. Go on. Yeah, go.
No. That was the end of the sentence. The
Just
and
sticking
was
on
just
Andor.
The and
sorry.
the
Dave wanted to talk about literally anything else.
But I'm talking. You got a question about subtitles. So, and this is to Joe. If you've watched it, this is Wrexham.
This is Wrexham. Yes.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
They put subtitles
welcome,
on.
Welcome to Wrexham.
Welcome to Wrexham. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they put subtitles on.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself
Reading
reading the subtitles?
Yeah, even though I can understand them.
They're talking English.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I reading this? Why am I reading this? It is funny.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's also helpful though, like, you know, I enjoy watching stuff with subtitles now because I feel like I catch things that I might not have otherwise caught in other situations. Like there have been times, what was it? When OA was airing on Netflix. There are some things that you can catch in the background that are happening like over the radio or on the television set that like alludes to things further in the show, which, you know, if I were able to pay attention to those things when I watched it the first time through, like, I don't know, I probably would have caught up on like what the ending would have ended up being.
Yeah.
So now I just watch everything with subtitles. And also I'm hard of hearing, so that just sometimes helps. I like it.
Cool.
Oh my gosh, this was a mistake. It's so dark. You guys ever apply wash to something and realize it was probably the wrong wash, but you're like, well, it's already on there now. I feel like I've just I've hit that moment. Like, oh, this is such a dark color. This was such a mistake. Too late now.
I feel like me and Dave are applying exactly the same colours, just to totally different models. Just looked at yours. So
Could well be. I'm using Pallid Bone, Malignant Green, and I'll be using a bit of Slaughter Red in a minute. But I need a colour for the wings. I still haven't got a proper wing colour yet.
The Dragonboard Bard wants to know what out of SFG and Epic Encounters would we like to see next?
Ooh, good question.
That is a good question. That's what we've got. Undead. They did the kobolds.
Well, I have spoken to Richard, who writes the stories, when we interviewed him, and I did request for a Cerberus Badger God. So we're waiting for the humanoid badger set. Is what I want to see. A bit like the werebears.
Steve was here, he'd say something space related, right?
Probably. Sci-fi.
Yeah. So there you go. Answer for Steve.
with the release of Spelljammer, some like cool Illithid stuff could be pretty rockin'.
I think more, not more stuff the same as these, but things that you wouldn't get in a monster manual.
Yeah, it's nice to have a bit, just something else unexpected. Not exactly sure what that is.
Yeah, surprises.
Having having something like this is quite interesting. Wow, we've not even reached an hour.
What?
We are basically 50 minutes in, and look at that. He's coming along.
Right on, right on.
Where are we? Is he going to focus?
Right, so I'm going to put him back to dry. Let's bring up my other guys. Let's put another coat of the TEBBO on. I don't know if that actually helps, but we will try and see. I can only make it go wrong.
I say there shouldn't be like. I feel like putting on more turbo dork will just enhance the colors.
Yeah, I'm sure I
Right?
read somewhere is that you can put multiple coats on.
It'll make it more like color shifty.
Yeah, that's
More
what
bulky?
Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping. Make it more dorky. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our goal in life, to make things more dorky.
Yeah. What are for those watching on YouTube? We're nearly we're in October. We're going to be hitting Halloween soon. What are everyone's Halloween plans? Other than, well, we know that Joe is chainsawing people.
Yeah.
Leia, Craig, what are your? Do you have plans for Halloween? Do you do anything? Do you dress up? Do you do the whole? So, for example, in the UK, Halloween is not as big as what it seems to appear in the movies in the States. With, you know, whole houses and streets and E.T. walking up and down with a bedsheet. we don't really go into it that much. We just like fireworks a few days later.
I know in my community, we got lots of kids, so I'll probably be handing out candy. I've also supposedly supposed to be going to a party, so I have to get my Halloween costume together. Working on that.
Do you know what you're?
She
wearing?
makes chainsaw. She makes chainsaw.
Yeah.
She makes chainmail and
Yeah, no.
body armor and stuff like that.
Well, so the last couple of years I've worn the same Viking armor that I wear every year with the chainmail and the armor and all that fun stuff. So this year I decided instead I'm making Danny's dress from Midsummer. The Mayflower dress she wears for the Maypole dance. So that is what I'm doing this year. I love that movie because it's a horror movie, but it's also bright and colorful and pretty. It's Leia in a nutshell. If it's gonna be horror, it may as well be bright and cheery.
What's your favourite horror film?
I was literally just about to ask that.
I'm a little bit split. I super enjoy Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
And Hellraiser.
Nice.
There's a new Hellraiser, isn't there?
There is
There's
one
gonna
coming
be
out
a
soon.
new one.
Yeah.
I saw pictures
Guess
of it.
who's excited?
I saw picture. I don't know if it's the original story but changed, or if it's continuation.
it's not going to be the original story. They're not making a remake. This is going to be like another telling of the Hell story, or like the Hellraiser stories. But the thing that makes me the most excited about this is Clive Barker is actually going to be more involved in this film. Whereas like they cut him out, and a lot of his Clive Barker's a bit of a weirdo, but like in the best ways. If anybody's read any of his books, he is eccentric, and his stuff is kind of dark and sexy. It's a weird mix. So he's gonna be really involved in this story. So I'm very excited for like some authentic Hellraiser stuff.
Yeah.
Because the Hellbound Heart, which Hellraiser is based off of, is kind of like the original Hellraiser film, but like more. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I've just seen the picture of Pinhead.
The Hell Priest, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for her.
Yeah, it's Pinhead, so you still get pins in the head, but it was the skin. The skin just looked. I don't know how to describe it. It looked real. So it's not someone in makeup with like white paint and then the nails. It just looks like she'd
it looks
been dead
super
for a while.
cool.
Yeah.
And they've got the cool thing that I like about it is it looks like it's not just like the regular nail, like the types of nails you would use for like carpentry, which is kind of what the original Hell Priest kind of looked like.
Yeah.
It looks like this Hell Priest she's got like pearls at the end of her, at the ends of them, which remind me of like sewing pins.
Yeah.
Because like if you're a seamstress or anything like that, you've got those pins with the little metallic balls at the end. I was like, that's what it looks like is stuck into her face. It's freaking awesome. And I love what I've seen of the outfit. I'm very excited because the Hell Priests and the Cenobites are described as having like leathery skin with like their skin looks like it's they're wearing skin as clothes. Essentially.
Yeah.
Is like how it's described, instead of like them wearing leather over their skin, they're wearing skin over leather, which is really weird, but very exciting. I'm just really excited for the news. the new I'm a bit of a horror dork.
Yeah. My favorite's Cabin in the Woods. It's probably my favorite horror film.
I like that one.
I think
that was good.
I think that's my favorite like comedy horror because it's very like stick it to you.
My favorite comedy horror is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I literally just watched that.
It's I love that film so much. It's so good.
It's funny because when you were mentioning that you chased people around with chainsaws, that's the first thing I saw in my mind's eye was Tucker running around with the chains.
Because when a new year you get a whole new cast and stuff, literally as soon as the cast is set up, I'll put in the WhatsApp group like, your homework right now is to go and watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil if you haven't seen it.
Yep. So I think my stepkid was like, she's starting to get really into horror movies. Like she really loves It for some reason, but I'm like, whatever.
The original or the new?
The new one. I can't get her to watch the old one. She's not very impressed by old horror movies.
Of your like whatever.
Yeah, we sat her down to watch The Thing, and she was just like not having it, like just not excited at all. I was like, this is like the best movie ever.
Yep.
Come on. But she said she wanted to watch a horror comedy, and we had watched Cabin in the Woods last week.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's much funnier. It's probably gonna be a little bit more up your alley. And she had a little bit more fun watching that one. Just a little bit.
You got comedy horrors. Evil Dead 3.
Yeah.
Army of Darkness. You've got Gremlins. Gremlins is quite funny.
That's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie, but Christmas comes after Halloween. So we're nearly there.
Not in this house. There's no Christmas allowed in my house until after my birthday in November. Absolutely nice. It's banned.
That's not a horror film. It's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
Can you hear what I hear?
Oh,
It's great.
I'm looking for one specific painting. I cannot find it.
Dragonborn Bard wants to know how big the maps and the epic encounters are. Do you get one or a few?
They're
You-
this big.
They're huge.
Yeah, they are A2 in size,
They're like
and they are a flip mat. So
They're
you
double-sided.
get
Yeah.
you get two locations to that are part of the story. So you complete the first room, or map or side, and then you flip it over to continue.
Yeah.
So you
Extra
definitely
points
have
if you do it whilst the models are on the board.
never.
I'm just
But-
seeing like the Houdini, like the pulling of the tablecloth.
It's definitely 3 or 4 hours worth of one-shot content.
Hmm.
Craig, you never answered. We need to know what you're doing for Halloween, and then favorite horror film.
Oh, you're muted, I think. Craig, I think you're muted.
Sorry, we're the last house on a dead end street, so we don't get a lot of kid traffic.
Well, you could be the most spooky house, though. Surely.
Yeah,
like-
seriously.
And we don't do a lot now that my son has grown. But it used to be the dress him up, walk the neighborhood. But he's not.
Ouch.
He doesn't want to do that anymore. So, and as far as favorite, probably the original Hellraiser.
Yep.
And Alien.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Do you know? Just thinking, another film that really messed me up, like, is the first original version of The Ring.
Yes.
That's-
The Japanese
yeah,
version,
the
the original.
Out of me, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Gotta watch that version. My partner is just like, that Japanese horror is like a totally different category.
it
It's like,
is.
bring it on!
it
Yeah.
is. They can build suspense in a way that, like, is just totally different.
Their build up is incredible because you just
I'm
don't
here
know
for
where it's gonna what's gonna happen, and they draw it out. They terrify an audience. They terrify the person that they're supposed to be terrifying on screen.
Yeah.
Incredible. To the point where, after a while, you've kind of had enough. It's like, just I need some cartoons. give me some Disney. I want to feel safe.
I think it was the first time my dad showed me the Nightmare on Elm Street. He was telling me that when the first house we lived in right after I was born was Elm Street,
Oh wow!
and the house that's in the movie is 1428. We used to live at 1482.
Oh wow.
It's like a really nice suburban
Yeah.
houses and stuff like that, and I was like, that messed me up for a long time. I was like, oh no, Freddy's from my neighborhood.
What a
And, like
coincidence.
a 13-year-old
Yeah.
freaking out like, oh man.
That was the first horror film I ever watched, really, was Nightmare on Elm Street. Because on my 13th birthday, I bought a TV for myself out of my own birthday money. And that was on in the middle of the night. And I just stayed up.
Well, you can't sleep, Joe.
Yeah.
It's against the rules.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You gotta stay awake. Did you like?
It's kind of
Oh man! Did you turn the TV off and go, shit? I've got to pull a Rob Lowe now.
The only film that's, like I say, ever like maybe like most horror films and stuff, I'll watch and be like, that was a really good film. But yeah, the only one that's ever like played on my mind afterwards is The Ring. Like, to the point I had like my TV was the end of my bed, and I had a dream that the girl was crawling out the TV and dragging me into the TV.
It's like I've been fortunate enough that like not a ton of horror movies have really affected me in that manner. Although I did have this actually happened to me recently, as I left my door open while I was laying in bed, just like, had a headache, was just laying in bed hanging out. My foot was hanging off the edge of my bed.
That's how the demons go.
But my mattress, my bed spring, the box spring is on the floor, so there is no under my bed. So I was like, I'm totally fine. I'll be fine. I've never been afraid of anything grabbing my ankle or anything like that throughout my life. But I swear, my soul left my body because I'm laying in bed and all of a sudden something grabs my foot. And I turn around, I scream, I turn around, and it's my cat. I've scared the absolute crap out of it. It's looking at me like, what just happened? Well, I was all of a sudden like a 12-year-old girl, like... Terrifying. I remember. I think Alien was my first like horror movie. My dad was like, "All right, child, you are now 13. You are now allowed to watch horror movies. Come here. Let me show you the movie that completely messed up my childhood."
My mum's still got scars in her arm from Alien. No, my dad, sorry, has still got scars in his arm from the original Alien film.
What?
He told my mum that it was a science fiction movie.
Technically not wrong.
No, yeah, exactly. He's technically not wrong. And that he wanted to go see it with her. Mum, being a massive sci-fi nerd, was like, "Yeah, cool, I'll come see that with you." Didn't realise that it was like shit scary.
Oh no!
And yeah, my dad's still got like literal claw marks from her talons as she's like digging it in her arm.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah,
It's horrible.
Technically correct's the best kind of correct, though, right?
Yeah, there you go. Like that line from Deadpool movie, the Deadpool. Like, my boyfriend told me that this was a romance movie. Oh no! I just realized that my worm looks like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland, and now I can't unsee it.
Well, you know what? Colour it now.
Oh no! Well, this is my worm now.
I couldn't find the colour I wanted, but I did find my model holder. I'm still not using it, but I did find it.
Excuse me. Oh no! Crap.
I can't do horror films, not even horror that caught the scarabs under the skin of the mummy at age 8, and I just can't now.
Oh no!
Yeah, I remember my auntie was watching the original Jaws when I was really small, and I snuck into the room and was sat by the side of the sofa and was like watching it.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no, Joel!
But she was just like, if you're gonna sit down there, you might as well sit on the sofa and eat the popcorn with me. It's like...
When my son was little, the original Jaws was like one of his favorite movies. And, I don't know, his fascination with poor animatronic sharks. But Anytime that was on TV and he was flipping channels or whatever when he was little, he would just stay glued to that.
Oh boy.
They re-released it recently in the UK for IMAX cinemas, and it's been put into 3D as well. And
Oh wow.
What?
but it is again, you don't need to see the shark to be terrified.
No, it's much like aliens in the sort of suspense build up. You don't see the alien for most of the film.
I feel like The Thing can be in that category too, because it's like
Yeah.
you don't see it for like ever. Oh, I did not get a bone color out for my little spiky dudes. Wraithbone, that'll be all right. I actually developed a super like I still have this fear because of Deep Blue Sea. It's not even really a horror movie. Well, it's kind of a horror movie, I guess. Deep Blue Sea is the movie that
Is that the
I
one where the
think
sharks swim backwards?
Yes. Yeah. I'm terrified. I have thalassophobia now. Like I can't, like it's terrifying. I won't get into big bodies of water. I hate not being able to see in water. It gives me panic attacks because I think it started with that stupid movie.
Have you seen then the film Shallow Water?
No, I tend to stay away from water themed horror movies.
It is
because they tend to be the bane of my existence.
it's another shark film, and it came out. I don't know. Maybe it's 10 years old now. I'm not sure, but it's the actress who is now married to Ryan Reynolds, and it's two friends. They're on holiday and they go to this part of the beach. And I can't remember if they miss some of the signs or whatever, but they go on the beach, having a good time, and there's a shark attack. But it's in shallow water. And she spends... It's one of these things where you only have like the one actor in majority of the film, and she's sitting on this rock.
Oh,
and
I've seen things for that.
50 foot to the shore, and she can't get off the rock. And then other people turn up on the beach. She's like, oh, no, don't get in, or help me, or stay away. And then people get in, people don't come out. That was like, wow. It was kind of touted as like this could be the new Jaws. And it was very good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. It's always funny when we see like stuff for water themed horror movies come out. Like I think was it 48 meters down. It's like the two girls that get into a shark cage and then get stuck in the shark cage.
Yeah.
47 meters down. I think it's 47. I think that's the word. That's the number. They're like, nope. No thanks. I was watching... What was that one that came out in Netflix? That's like the animated one. Maybe like Sea Beasts?
Oh, I don't know that one.
I just watched that one. It's not really a horror movie. It's kind of like a kid's movie. But I was just kind of curious because the animation looked fun and the story looked interesting. It's about like in a world where sea beasts are a big thing and they've got hunters that hunt down these sea beasts. And there's a part in the movie where like two of the characters are underwater and one of the sea beasts is really close and then pulls away. And as it pulls away, it like vanishes into the darkness of like the nothingness of sea. And I was just like, I'm going to have a panic attack. We need to stop watching this now.
Yeah.
Oh, go.
Ugh. I just have the jitters just thinking about it.
What about Megalodon? Did you see that with the trailer where you got this little girl in this underwater?
Oh, that's called
the
that
Meg.
one's called the
the
Meg.
Meg. Yeah, Meg.
The Meg. Yeah, I was talked into seeing that one. I hated it.
With
I hated
Jason
every
Statham.
second. Yes.
Jason Statham saving the world underwater.
Yep.
And you just see this
'Cause, you know-
massive shark thing smack
Go and
its
stop
head.
talking about it. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about
Boom.
it.
Sorry.
I can see the scene and it's no thanks. Ugh.
The weird
I'm
thing
never gonna
is,
finish
it's
it.
actually it seems like it would do that because like on Insta and Twitter, and you see all these clips of zoo animals attacking the glass. So you'll see the gorillas or the lions and the tigers, and they'll just there's like a someone will put their toddler up against the glass and take a photo, and then the animal will attack, forgetting that there's glass there. But it's probably it's hungry and there's a free snack.
Seen the one at the Sea Life Centre with the tuna?
No.
Where someone takes a photograph with a flash camera on,
Yeah.
and obviously their instinct is to go towards shiny stuff, and it literally just like full pelts at the glass.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they do say no, don't use flash cameras.
Yeah, and then gets eaten by a shark because it's absolutely stunned.
Yeah.
Blech.
So you're not a fan of like Sea Life Centre and stuff like that, then?
So here's the weird thing is I'm fascinated by underwater stuff. Like I think it is the coolest thing. I just like if I go to an aquarium, I'm mostly fine because you can see through the water. Like if I can see through it, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But like if it's just vast nothingness, it freaks me out.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I do agree with it. Like the boat sinks, and you're just bobbing on top of the surface, and you think there are fathoms below me in the dark, and it could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate those pictures where they see these. It's like a bird's eye view, and they're looking straight down, and there's someone swimming, a bit like Jaws, someone swimming on a lay low, and then there's this giant mouth coming up, and the mouth is the size of a boat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa! You get a kraken is coming after them.
So no underwater dragon till epic encounter for you then, Leia.
There is one.
I can no thanks. That's why I tend to make D&D characters who are terrified by water. Actually, funny story, in the campaign that I'm running right now, 5 out of the 6 characters, or no, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 out of the 5 characters in the campaign that I'm running don't know how to swim. Like they all wrote it into their backstories.
Well,
And I
independently.
just independently.
Oh wow, that's calling for a water scene.
Yeah.
It is.
Here's a pirate ship adventure.
Yeah.
Well, so it's in Eberron.
Here's an underwater caving situation.
It's in Eberron, and like one of the people is just like I never learned how to swim. It's just I don't know how to do it. But one person is playing a shifter, like the feline shifter. I've got one guy who's playing a Valinor elf. They're the elves that live in the desert, so he doesn't know how to swim. One guy lives in Sharn, which is a tower city, doesn't know how to swim. The bard is the only one who knows how to swim. That's it. And I just gave them an airship, and I was like, oh yeah, you have this captain who's got this brand new shiny airship because their last airship got yanked out of the sky by a kraken while they were sailing over the Kraken Sea.
Wow.
It's there. All the hints are there.
Yeah, you better start learning to swim, guys. Or
I
buy
can't
a
wait.
life jacket.
That's the best. I love that shit. Why is my water so far away all of a sudden? Or is it just me? Maybe I scooted over here.
Yeah, it's like two of my friends independently always write characters that are antagonistic towards each other through like, and they'll switch. One will be like, you know, one polar extreme, and the other one would be the other one, and then yeah, it's just really crazy.
My husband and I do that. We play characters that like naturally hate one another because we have to live with one.
So,
Although I think we agreed that the next time we make characters, we're gonna make a couple. I think we're gonna do actually for one time. We're not gonna hate each other's guts.
Oh,
But we're gonna make like
like your characters are a couple.
yeah, like our characters
Wow.
characters are kind of a thing, but we want to be like a Miguel and Tulio
Yeah.
pair. And one of us is gonna be a swashbuckler rogue, and the other one is gonna be a College of Swords bard.
But I told you to save me, and you chose to save them, and then you rolled a natural one on me. You know.
I don't know what it is.
It's just fuel for the DM. The DM's gonna go, right. You choose. Which one do you save?
Yep. We often refer to in my regular group. We refer to backstories as knives.
yes.
Just like,
Yeah.
here are all these knives that I'm giving you to stab me with later. Be gentle.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard them referred to as knives before.
Oh, it's such a cute little hungry caterpillar. Oh, I gotta paint the teeth. Would probably be helpful.
How are we all doing? We're down to the last almost 15 minutes.
Steve needs more time.
I'm never. I haven't even. Yeah, it's not happening.
I think my worm is almost finished. Maybe. He's getting there.
I think I'm very close to finishing this guy. And, oh, I can do that as well. I need to let him dry a little bit.
Gonna stick some flesh wash on this guy. Which, by the way, if anybody wants to paint skin tones, like lighter skin tones, anything from like fair to like tan skin, this wash from Game Paints, which is literally just called Flesh Wash, is the most amazing thing I have in my repertoire right now. Because anytime before I had this, anytime I washed skin, it always looked too dark. And this is like that perfect, almost like rosiness that makes skin look like it's alive.
What paint brand is it?
It's Game Wash. It's
from
Game
Vallejo.
Paints. I think it's Vallejo, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's from Vallejo.
Cool.
I'm gonna use it on this little worm rider guy just to get the initial rosiness in his creepy flesh before I powder it down to make it look gross. But it's gonna give that nice pinkiness that I want.
Is that a technical term? Before I make it look gross.
Yes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. It's a technical application.
Yeah, it's weird painting a model and then making it look either like gross or dirty
Yeah.
or you know.
Yeah. It's called grossing.
This looks really nice. Anyway,
Think I'll cover it in fake
Gross
blood.
stuff, yeah.
Cover it in viscera.
oh, that was
Mm.
Audience, message to the audience. Thank you very much for joining us. We are down into the last kind of few minutes. Well, last sort of 10, 15 minutes. Remember, you get to vote. You get to help LEIA reward a gold star to either myself, not Steve, or Joe. So
I swear I'm missing like half my paint.
Where did they go?
Oh, they're
Joe?
probably in the other room. In my display cabinet, I'd guess.
You keep your paint in a display cabinet?
I keep my models in the display cabinet, and the bottom shelf is just for things that are related to.
Hi, kitty.
Trying to find my lead belcher, but I can't.
Dragonborn Bard is asking, what is everyone's best natural 1 or natural 20 stories? Craig, over to you.
Natural 1. Probably
Or
trying
nat 20.
Nah, I don't see those very often.
You also
Nat
don't
20.
remember the nat 20s, do you? Let's be fair. It's always the natural ones you remember more.
Natural ones are usually just the funniest.
Yeah.
At least in our games.
We were just starting into Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Yep.
And I kept hitting a natural 1, trying to get through the one of the initial mirror puzzles, and kept being. My DM finally just kept teleporting me outside, making me start over.
Did you have to go back in on your own that time though?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it was.
That's a hard
work your
DM.
way back. But it's like every time it came around to me, it was like natural 1, natural 1.
Oof. Oh gosh. It's been a while for one of my I guess I will share as a DM one of my favorite nat ones in a game that I have been DMing. It was not my nat one, but it was somebody who I was DMing for. I had a temple that my party was going into. This is like a Grecian themed D&D game. And they were going into this temple trying to save an oracle. And they came to a door. And my ranger, she said that she was going to take her shield and she was going to ram the door open because they figured it was locked because no one decided to check. Little did they know I had made the door a mimic.
Hey. So open wide.
She nat ones. So I was like, all right, so what happens is you go to ram the door, and in anticipation, you put all of your body weight in it. So not only is your shield, but like your shoulder, like you've knocked your head, so your head is stuck, your like leg on the bottom side of the shield. You are completely stuck to this door, and it's a mimic is trying to eat you now. Roll for initiative.
Wow.
She was so unamused, and I thought it was so funny. I'm sorry, but I revel in your pain. So that's my story.
I almost TPK'd my whole party within that one.
What?
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, I had there's a thing you can get which is like a band of fireballs, like a
The necklace of fireballs.
yeah.
The necklace?
Yeah, and I was this little goblin character, and I tried to throw it through this hole where we knew there was a bunch of bad guys standing above us, like up this sort of small chimney breast type thing, and onto the floor above. And all I ended up doing was throwing it up, and it just went up, and then just came back down and landed by my feet.
Oh.
And they're like, my
So
DM was like,
you mean you as a player?
yes,
And you TPK.
yeah. My DM was like, is there anything you want to say before the fireballs go off? And I just went, yeah, what I'm going to say is, I am so sorry, gut. And then they go off.
Shit.
Yeah. I think 4 of us were down to like death saves, and we had like 1 person that was up. We were still being attacked at that point by other characters. So, yeah. But like I say, they're the ones that you remember, I think, more than the. Oh, I just got a random nat 20. That's pretty cool.
I mean, because I think like the only thing close enough to it is like I had it wasn't a nat 20. I rolled a 19 on an athletics check. It almost never a nat 20. But it was still really cool. Sorry, you were saying, Dave?
No, I was going to say the only time a nat 20 is cool is when you're all in person around the table, and everyone is in the moment. Everyone is paying attention. Everyone is in that combat. It is a bit Stranger Things. Everyone is watching those rolls. You get people injured. Everything's on the line. And when a player rolls that natural 20, you're like, and having something like that is great. I love when those moments
when you're like, you
come
need
around.
to do this dice roll, or we're all gonna die.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything is betting on you. Here we go. It can make it makes a great moment, but yeah, most of the time it's always the funny nat ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lord House 99. My team is angry at me. I just killed baby goblins. What's wrong with that? You know what they say, the only good goblins are dead ones. DM killing goblin children is very common, right? In nests. Well,
If you can prove they're evil, that's the best way to
kill
do
them
it.
later. Is that the?
Yeah. Make a note of that on the map and come back later.
Yeah.
Just don't tell the party. Don't tell the paladin.
My best nat 20 is when we stole the wizard's toenails, and I used those to get a legendary weapon in hell. Yes, Josh, you did.
Yeah, you can go back and watch that episode as well.
Yeah.
No,
I also found out why. It's because there are spells that you actually need, like a lock of hair or something, to be able to like summon the person. I think that's why he has a problem with people stealing his toenail clippings. Do you guys have like a system that you paint stuff in, or do you just?
I go for whatever I want to paint. However, what I've been trying to do with using speed paints is try to start with the light colours, because that way if I go over them with the darker colours, it hides the light colour if I make a mistake. That's how I've been trying to do it.
Because I paint just all over the shop. It's like I start painting this bit, and then I'll paint that bit, and then I'll paint.
Lord House, I was going to say Lord House. Lord House. Lord House, thanks for coming. Lord House, he says, honestly, DM, do you find it hard? Do you find it hard like to work with both evil and good characters in one party? Sometimes they disagree on how to do things. I don't allow evil characters in my parties because I want my players to all be heroes. I want them to be the Avengers. I want them to save the world, to save the day. And I don't do homebrew. However, when I've done homebrew, yes, you can be whatever you like, because then it's you just let them run the story. But if I'm playing a game, like at the moment we're playing, what am I running? Icewind Dale, Rime the Frost Maiden. I said at the start, no bad guys, don't screw each other over. And the first thing they do is try and screw each other over.
To be fair, that's how I got my Twitch name as well.
Yeah.
I'm a good demon honest. Because you wouldn't allow bad people, so I made
Nope.
I'm definitely with Dave on this one. Now most of the parties that I either play in, I actually my regular in-person game is myself and another DM that switch on and off between campaigns. So currently I'm running and he's a player, but because we've now as a group been playing for more than 6 years, we all kind of understand what is kind of a go and no go for each person.
Mm-hmm.
They all tend to make characters that mesh pretty well.
Yep.
Now they're normally kind of morally gray. They all have kind of agreed that, like, you know, we're the good guys, but sometimes we do bad things in the name of good, and we try to stay on the right side, but sometimes you have to do bad things.
We're bad guys, but being bad isn't bad. Or whatever it is.
And
but
that's
you see,
good.
You can justify
this. Doing bad things because they didn't know anything better, they were duped or anything like that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't want players to screw each other over.
Yeah.
Because they're in the same team. So if you try to get one over your players, whether you're going to pocket the treasure, but basically what happened in our Icewind Dale campaign is there was 2 dog sleds, and it wasn't a race to get anywhere. But one player decided to cut the reins just a little bit, so that the other parties, the other group's dog sleigh would break down. And I'm like, okay, so you go off, you get a little bit of a head start, you turn around, you see they've broken down. Now what do you do? Oh, we're going to carry on to destination. Okay, get to destination. Now you've got to wait until your mates turn up.
Top Gear rules.
Yeah, wasn't very funny, was it?
Wow. Yeah, I think the worst thing that, like, my party fights over right now is I've got a character who's at kind of like a low because of just reasons. Like, their character is going through a rough time, so they started smoking, and now the joke is every other character tries to steal their smokes.
Yeah.
Because they know that it's bad for the character.
Everyone's
like
in the pub and they nip outside for a quick smoke.
Like,
they miss
have
all
you
the.
checked your pockets.
Do you put your players in a different room?
It depends on the information that I'm giving them.
So if they go out for a smoke, you say, "Well, go on then. Disappear for 10 minutes," and then you tell the party, "This is what you hear. These are the rumors. This is the plot. This is the treasure. This is the quest. You've all been given 50 gold coins," and then they come back and they go, "What happened?" And everyone goes, "Nothing. You're round."
I've been gifted with a very great set of people who are they're really good about not metagaming. If like I know I can say something to somebody at the table,
Yeah.
and most of the time the person will choose to share that information with the rest of the party. If they don't decide to share it, the rest of the party acts like they don't hear it, which is super cool.
Yeah.
As again, one of those bonuses of like, I know I've been playing with these guys for like 6 years. We all like kind of like, you know, I don't know. I got some decent folk in my party, and I know I am a very blessed person to have such cool party members who are occasional dicks.
That's Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what they are. Heroes.
Yeah, they
but
are.
dicks.
They are a little bit like Guardians of the Galaxy. I do have one of my players is he's technically or his backstory was he's a bounty hunter now. And he is a little bit like the party's parole officer. He is like he tries to play by the rules, but like sometimes he's like, I'm just gonna not watch this. I'm gonna pretend this isn't happening. He's not a paladin, which is surprising.
My my last character that I played was a dwarf death cleric that hated to heal. And he kept telling everybody he's not that kind of cleric.
Did you actually get away with that?
For a while. And then you start to feel guilty and you start, I've got to start healing.
If you ask, what if a player just runs from a fight like a coward? I think you remember my character in Vason was a massive coward and didn't get involved in any fights.
Such a dick. So great. I'm sorry, but when I was watching like Father Pavel, I'm not a real priest. I was like, I've been duped.
Yeah.
Me.
I'm not even a priest. Yeah.
I'm not even a priest. I love that. That was great.
Yeah.
I loved that campaign. I just want to say I love that campaign so much. I went and bought the campaign book. I'm gonna get somebody to play that game with me.
There is the new books are out now.
Oh, there's one for England, right?
Yeah, it's out
Yeah,
now.
I'm gonna have to take a look for it because I just loved. I was like, I want to play these books so bad, but I have trash pronunciation of Swedish cities.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be the benefit of it being in England. It'd be like
Worcestershire.
Like playing Ticket to Ride is the worst. Like looking at the European Ticket to Ride, I'm like, I don't know how to say that city, but I'm going there.
What's the Croydon monster? They got. Have you seen what like towns they've got in it?
In the Vason game or
no, the new London one. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen the Vason London book.
No, I haven't seen it.
Is it London or is it just the whole of Europe?
It's England. So it's the British Isles, but there are things like there are Cornwall pixies.
Okay.
That are like piranhas.
Nice.
I need this.
They eat your eyeballs and stuff like that. So anything like witch stories and hags. Hansel and Gretel. That is there's a lot of witches and just horrible fairy tale stories, especially in the UK.
I love it.
Yeah, and the fact that England is such a small country or island, and you've got so much weird cultural history out there, and then to turn it on its head and make it all horror, it's brilliant.
How have the Gulkin minis lent themselves to painting? Are the smaller details pronounced enough for the naked eye to do them justice, or are magnifying glasses needed?
Well, let's find out. It is time for paintbrushes down. We have now officially run out of time. I even gave you an extra 2 minutes. There we go. We
We'll need
are.
another episode to paint this model, I think.
Yes.
So we're gonna let's start with Leia. First of all, how did you find the epic? We painted loads of WizKids together.
Yeah.
How have you found this one?
This is got some beautiful. I loved dry brushing this miniature because it popped so many of these beautiful like wrinkles and details out in the face of this worm creature. There is some like really pretty bone texturing in these little mandibles that they have. I'm absolutely loving it. There is even some really small detailing in this like leather saddle that I began working on. I think that wash settles really nicely in these models. I've got some like, it's hard to see because it's such a light tone, but there is some really cool way that the wash has settled into this ghoul's skin that has really pronounced a lot of muscle, like what's the technical word? It's got like a lot of definition, and I think it is really, really cool. I cannot wait to continue painting this guy. I think he's gonna look really cool once I finish up my color scheme. I'm like kind of in love with these miniatures. They're really cool.
The color scheme. The set. You got the red and the blue.
Yeah,
that looks really nice.
I thought about this color. I don't know if I like this color as much, but this is very much Alice in Wonderland caterpillar. So I don't know how I feel about that.
We have to when you can shove some pictures up on socials. It'd be good to get a proper good look. That is fantastic. Right, so let's go around the table. Craig, I can see Joe's still painting. Craig.
Yeah, I haven't put my paintbrush down because it doesn't matter. It's not going to get finished anytime soon.
Craig, let's have a look. You actually, Craig and Joe both went for the what's it called? The Brood Sire.
Brood Sire.
Why don't we both? Joe, if you are able to, you put yours under the camera as well.
Oh, hold on. I was about to knock over a massive pot of paint then.
Yeah.
Or wash.
Whoa, don't do that.
Okay, Craig, take us
Let's put a lid on that for starters.
Oh, that is super cool, Craig.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you've done a lot more than I have. I'm not even halfway done.
So talk us through it, Craig.
Basically did the started with a black primer and dry brushed some ivory over it, and then the malignant greens, bones, war paint toxic boils, kind of just glazed, and used the blood red down on the base with some gloss.
You're off
varnish.
camera a little bit.
Oh.
There we go. That red on the base really makes it pop. I've been painting my bases red as well, and I think
so.
It's
I started
stunning.
with the black and then did the dry brush over it.
Yeah.
So it still pulls a lot of that black up, and then hit it with the gloss varnish.
Yeah.
Nice. Did you use because I saw that you had a little bit of like a zenithal thing going on. Did you use mostly contrast?
It was the zenithal thing was more of the black and then a ivory dry brush over it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then contrasted a lot of the body with the speed paint, malignant green, and kind of glazed witch brew into it as well.
Right on.
Have you finished? Have you done a base coat over everything? Is there anything you haven't?
I haven't done what he's standing. I still have larva left to do.
Yeah.
A couple larva left, and the rocks that he's standing on.
Yeah. How did you find the painting this type of mini?
I enjoyed it. Kind of like what Joe was alluding to earlier, was where he's jumping around all over the place. The more you get into it, the more detail you're picking up and the more little nuances you're finding in it. So I've kind of felt like I was all over the place as well. But this, I really think that with Steamforge's, each one of their encounter boxes, they're getting better. better and better with the detail.
Mm-hmm.
And I've painted models out of several different of their line. So
Cool. Joe, how have you got on with yours?
I don't even know where the time went. I've literally painted his upper body, and that's about it. I think I possibly spent too long trying to wet blend this skeleton in.
I think because I'm probably going to start painting him next week in the next episode. But I think I'm going to be much like you, where as I'm painting, there's so many little details in him.
Yeah. That
you want to I want this another colour, or I need to pick this out more. There's so much on him.
I think if I was gonna, for me, because I know I'm already quite a slow painter, if I was to do this one on the stream again, I'd probably base it all beforehand and just do highlights and things. So yeah.
Cool. I went for the bull walk. Here he is here. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. There you go. So I've painted this one before. I did purple before, and this time I've done with the malignant green. I've managed to do the wings. So basically, it's like burst flesh.
Looks like a really pissed off Hulk.
Yeah. it's a really mutated Hulk. He's got his bone protrusions sticking out. He's got his loincloth, and he's on all the blood. It's blood and flesh and all this ripped up stuff. They're ghouls and they eat loads of flesh.
They're really nice models, these ones.
You can see he's got this. There's a skull, ribs, and spine just embedded into the flesh as well. Again, I keep saying Resident Evil. That's the only thing that I can think of when I see this thing.
That's what I see. Like I see Nemesis.
Yes, it's very much that. This whole thing, like his body, he did have 2 arms, but his left arm was just exploded and separated and just like torn open into something else. It is such a nice dynamic model as well. But I've got a purple one now. I've got a green one, so you get 2 of these in the box, and it's quite nice to terrorize your players when you say, which one are you attacking? I'm going to go for the purple one. I'm going to go for the green one. It's a nice way of doing it, so they're not the same colour. And on top of that, although I painted them black before the stream, I've managed to get in 2 of like the Footman. What are these called? These are called the Reavers. Get brushes out of the way. So I painted them black and then used the turbo shifts to make their skin all kind of slippery and shiny.
That's cool.
And again, you've got the blood base and the maggots. I quite like this one. I quite like the shiny purple.
I think I prefer the purple too. I think that's really cool.
And the bone protrusions there. And the carrion skulls. But yeah. These are normal mini size. This is your hero mini size. And this one is your large size, your ogre size. So that is massive. But there you go. There you go, folks. So it's LEIA's job to now choose a winner for this week's Gold Star. Again, Craig is sitting in for Steve, but you can award Craig the Gold Star, but it is LEIA's overall choice. So you, the audience, if you want to shout some names, please do.
Ooh.
But right now, I will start. Joe, start the drum roll, and I will. We haven't upgraded much. The Gold Star is off. It's spinning around the screen. I have no idea how we managed to get this stuff, but there it is. We break the budget on every episode.
No expense spared.
Yeah. If our sponsors actually paid us rather than gave us miniatures to paint, we could upgrade the software. We'd have real Gold Stars.
I think I got to give it to Craig. He did such an amazing job. And that is that mini blew me away. Like that is so cool looking. The blood base is really cool. It is super awesome.
Well done. Nice. There we go. Big cameras are back. If LEIA and Jay want to switch over. Well done, Craig. That is very well deserved. Make sure you do when you finish, throw up some photos, let everyone see it, because again the detail on these minis is insane. This is Epic Encounters. This is the box. that you get full of minis. There are 15 minis in this box set, and this set is available now at all good hobby gaming retailers all over the world. Not just the UK, but in the States, in Australia, everywhere, even in Europe. There you go. Do pick it up. Leia, always a pleasure to have you on.
Yes.
I hope this is always...
I love being here.
We broke the Whiz Kids trend there, and we painted something else. How did you find it?
I loved it, as always. It's always a treat.
Cool.
Every time.
Good.
Love it.
And we always talk about crap B movies and everything else, which is always good. It's always a lot of fun. Craig, we'll see you again in a few weeks' time. Craig will be joining us as our proper guest, not just our co-host stand-in. But thank you very much for doing that, Craig. Joe,
Absolutely, anytime.
You're going to be acting next session.
I am, yeah, for the next 2 episodes, I think. I'm away chasing people with chainsaws. And...
Well, actually, the Epic Brush Off isn't back next week. We're going to be doing our Army Painter special. So if you're watching this now on YouTube, and whatever year it might be, go check out our Army Painter special.
Whatever year it is.
Yeah, whatever year it is. I don't know. Who knows? If this is still here in 10 years' time, I'd be amazed. we might have 2 more views. Who knows? But until next time, folks, we will see you again soon. Stay safe, be good, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.
There you go.
Bye-bye.